What's going on, everyone? Zach Parks here, and thanks for stopping by the channel. If you are familiar with me, this channel, my work, and all that stuff, then you know it's been a long fucking time since I've made a video. And for that, as you can see, the cars still just love to drive by as soon as I talk. But as I was saying, if you're familiar with me, the channel, my work, any of that stuff, then you're probably aware that it's been a while since I've made a video. Been like 2 months, I think, maybe. I don't know. I just haven't really felt a whole lot of motivation to get out there and just like pump these out every week. I don't really know why. I just kind of, it takes a lot like to put into these videos. It just takes a lot of work, and I haven't really had the time. And when I did have the time, I just didn't really want to spend it, doing this. Also, it's like, I finished my Where Buzzards Roost project, and I always kind of go through these lulls after I finish projects. It's hard to, figure out, like what's next. And the truth is, I don't know what's next. But I have been getting out and enjoying shooting and stuff. I picked up a new camera. You can probably tell by whatever I title this video that it is I picked up a new digital camera. So if you're a film shooter, strictly film shooter, and that's what you know me for and all that, I hope you aren't too grossed out by the fact that I picked up this lovely little Fuji X-T3, and I am loving the camera. So we'll talk more about that in like future videos and stuff. I've got some ideas I'm kicking around in my head for some more digital influence stuff. Another video, another time. That's not what we're talking about today. I just wanted to say hi, let you guys know I'm still here. I'm doing great. Thank you to everyone who's purchased a pre-order copy of my book, which I'll talk about again at the end of the video and all that. Yeah, I just, enough of this. Today's video is going to be somewhat of a longer one anyways. I went on a hike in North Carolina on the Deep Gap Trail, and I shot that Fuji X-T3 along with my Pentax 6.7. Had a really good time, got treated to a beautiful sunset. So yeah, let's stop looking at my ugly mug and get rolling with that beautiful mountain footage. All right, guys. So, as I said, I just recently picked up that Fuji X-T3. On this day in particular, my friend Janine and I headed up to the Blue Ridge Parkway, to the Mount Mitchell State Park, to be exact. And my goal was to just shoot the X-T3 alongside some film in the Pentax, because my main goal is to really get used to and dial in the digital settings for the Fuji X Weekly film recipes. If you guys aren't familiar with that, Fuji X Weekly is a website. They also have an amazing app that you can download if you're a Fuji shooter, and they just have all of these like tons and tons of film recipes that you can dial in, like plug into your camera, and essentially it just kind of creates this look to replicate kind of a film look, for like Portra 400 or whatever. But yeah, we started off, or I wouldn't say hiking up, but we parked in the parking lot for Mount Mitchell, and then we headed up to the Mount Mitchell Lookout, which is actually the highest point east of the Mississippi here in the U.S. And it was a little too crowded for our taste. Lots of people up there. It's a very popular spot. So we quickly turned around and booked it back down and made our way to the Deep Gap Trail, which runs along the ridge line and the peaks of the Black Mountain Range. That was the destination for the day. I did snap a few photos, as you can see, while we were up at the Mount Mitchell Peak. All of those images were with the Kodak Gold film recipe, which is mostly what I'm going to be shooting with throughout this video. I did shoot some black and white using the Ilford HP5 film recipe. That's been my go-to for the black and white images for sure. So after making our way through the parking lot and down the little mountain road that leads up to the parking lot, we came to the picnic area, which is probably the most beautiful picnic area that I have ever seen in my entire life. The scenery, just the views you get from those picnic tables is absolutely phenomenal. We definitely spent a little bit of time there just taking it all in, snapped a few photos, and then turned around to get on the trail because the trail actually leads out from the picnic area. We got on the trail, and the first thing, you just come into this just beautiful, lush, green forest that is, I mean, it looks like something out of a damn fairy tale or something. It was amazing. I didn't bring my tripod with me, unfortunately. Otherwise, I really would have loved to have shot more in the thick of the forest and everything. But I didn't really feel like lugging around a 7-8 pound tripod. I really need to invest in a good lighter travel tripod for when I am out hiking. But when you leave or when you first get on the trail, you go through the little bit of forest, and then you just start descending down the Mount Mitchell peak. Once you descend down the peak, you come out onto this ridge line with just insane panoramic views of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and it was phenomenal. So the goal was to just hike over to the next peak, which is the Mount Craig peak. We continued on back into the thick of the forest before we started our climb up to the peak of Mount Craig. When we got into the forest, we did come across this really awesome old tree that was kind of the roots were like growing around this giant boulder. I snapped a couple of photos of it. This is with the Kodak Gold film recipe. And then this next one here is with the Ilford HP5 film recipe, just for kind of a little comparison, both the exact same settings. And then we just started our climb back up. It's a very nice hike, lots of rocks, lots of nice sharp little peaks and stuff that you're definitely like more familiar with seeing out west. But we finally, we made the climb. We came out onto the peak at Mount Craig, and holy shit, y'all, it was amazing. One of my favorite things about hikes in the Pisgah National Forest and stuff is you will hike through just this thick, lush, green forest, and you'll be wondering to yourself where the hell the peak is, and then all of a sudden, like, the forest just ends, and you're staring at this just insane mountaintop views, really just looking out over those rolling hills, and it's something that I never get tired of, that is for sure. So when we got up there, I took a few photos with the X-T3. I did switch up a little bit and use the Kodak Ektar Fuji X weekly film recipe just to see what it would look like. It was nice, much more vibrant than the gold, much more saturation going on. Did look good. I don't know if I would say it really looked like Ektar, but it does look good. I do like it a lot. And at that point, we just, I put the camera down and everything. We just sat down, ate some snacks, drank some water, took a break, and just enjoyed the view before we had to turn around and head back down so that we could get back to the ridgeline for sunset.
Should I say something? I don't know. I haven't filmed a YouTube video in so fucking long.
I got bad news for you, buddy. You're already saying something.
Yeah, that's true. So we're up on, I don't know what the fuck we're on right now, actually. We never saw the marker. We were looking for Mount Craig, the peak of Mount Craig. We just hiked out here from Mount Mitchell, which is really tiny behind me. And I've been shooting with the Fuji, so all of the images that you've seen up until this point have been on the digital. Don't like unsubscribe or something just because you're only came here for the film, I guess. Or do, I don't fucking know. But I'm gonna load up some film in the Pentax, and I think we're gonna hang out here for a minute. We got about an hour before the sun disappears behind the mountains over here. And we got about probably an hour, maybe, hike back, shoot some film on the Chunky Boy. It's ridiculous. Like, it's actually with the grip on and stuff, it's almost like the same size. It's almost the same size. It's still like, it just looks so tiny in comparison.
It's always like the chunky boys.
Like the lens on this thing, like the fucking lens is almost as big as the damn camera. Somewhere, someone is like cringing because I'm setting my shit on rock.
Pan away.
Melendez, he's this other photographer from like Detroit or whatever, and he put his camera on the ground to like load the film, and someone's like, "Don't do that!"
I do what I want.
Yeah, do what the fuck. It's my camera. Like, get the fuck out of here. Decisions. I've gotten used to the digital and being able to like switch it up whenever I want. I'm like, is this really the film I want in here?
What are you trying to decide between?
Well, I have this, which is a very low ISO, it's very slow film, which means you have to shoot slower shutter speeds. It gets tough to shoot in low light, so as the sun goes down, it'll be tougher to shoot.
Which is what we're about to experience.
Yeah, and I didn't bring the tripod.
Damn it, Zach.
Because it weighs 1,000,000 fucking pounds. Paired with the Pentax, that's just not a very like hike backpacking friendly setup.
That's fair.
So if you have it, now would be a great time to go to the link down below. Buy my new book, Where Buzzards Roost, so I can buy a lighter tripod. Oh, there we go. Still got it. It's been like a week since I've done that.
Riding a bike.
Yeah. Thank you, Janine.
Yeah, that's all you needed?
That's it.
Okay.
Hey everybody, it's me. I know it's been a minute since I've appeared on this channel for you, so just wanted to update everybody. I'm doing great.
All right. So at this point, I loaded up a roll of Kodak Ektar 100 into the Pentax, and I thought I was making the wrong decision because the sun was setting pretty fast. But as you can see right now, I blasted through the first half of that roll in about 10 minutes. After I took a few shots with the Pentax, we turned around and headed back down the mountain to make it to the ridgeline for sunset. I fired off a few more shots on the Ektar. I pretty much finished that roll of Ektar by the time we got back down to the ridgeline. As you can see, we're just climbing down. A little rocky, a little rootsy. I almost took a tumble a couple of times. Definitely a fun hike, and I can't recommend it enough if you are in the area or if you ever find yourself in the area. As you can see, we came out of the forest to just beautiful golden light just blasting the side of the mountain here. I don't think I've ever seen a prettier sunset on top of the mountain. It was just phenomenal. So yeah, I took some shots on the digital. As I said, I had finished off that roll of Ektar 100 in the Pentax. So I loaded up some Lomo 800, which is what you're going to be seeing now with the sun dipping down so low. I knew I was going to need that extra speed from the 800 film. I was metering it for 400 just to be safe. Although when the sun did start to get super low, I did just rate it for 800, shooting it at box speed to make sure that I wasn't, gonna have to drop my depth of field down super low or anything. And the shots on this roll of Lomo 800 are my favorite of the day for sure. This next image here of the clouds behind the tree line is definitely my favorite of the day. Super, super happy with how that one came out. The colors were just so nice. The Lomo was the perfect film to capture it, but that was it. The sun was dipping down. We made our way back to the picnic area, took a few last photos, and yeah, got in the car and headed home. All right, y'all, so that's gonna do it for this week's video. Before I get out of here, I just wanna say I am loving this camera. I've had it for a couple of weeks now. I'm really looking forward to getting more comfortable with it. The plan is to just shoot these Fujifilm, like Fuji X Weekly film recipes, and really try and dial in the JPEGs so that I can treat this more as, or like more like a film camera, where I can just set it on my Kodak Gold setting that I used a lot while we were out on the trail. I can set it on that. I can go out, I can give myself 36 shots and just go out, treat it like that, come home and maybe do some light touch-ups or light adjustments in Lightroom, like I do with my film scans, and that's what I've been doing, and I'm really enjoying the results. I'm really enjoying it. It's totally different though. I will say, the film scans that I got from this day out on the trail and everything, I love the way the film came out looking. If I hadn't shot digital that day and I just shot the Fuji, I'd be totally happy with what I got on the Fuji. But having shot the digital and the film, I do much prefer the shots that I got on film. I just like the tonality, the colors, just everything worked out a little better. I don't know, digital is still a little too crisp, too clean for me. So that's something I just gotta get used to, work on. They're like different tools for different purposes, but they also serve like the same functionality. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing with this more, figuring out how it works, or how it fits into my workflow and such. But that's another topic for another video and another time. Lastly, I just want to remind you guys that pre-orders for my book, Where Buzzards Roost, will be ending in 1 week, September 1st. I will close the Big Cartel shop and send everything to the printers to be printed, and then pre-orders will all start shipping hopefully by the end of September, with the official book release show happening here in town on October 22nd. So lots of really cool things coming up, that I'm working on right now for the future. Yeah, if you've purchased a copy or anything so far, I've been totally blown away by the response that you guys have shown me and this project. It's amazing to me, thinking that I'm going to be sending a book full of images all from my hometown area just to like places all over the world. So yeah, if you've purchased a copy, thank you so much. That's been really surprising, and I couldn't be happier right now. So if you would like to purchase a copy, the link will be down below. As I said, you have 1 more week to get your pre-orders in, to guarantee yourself a copy. After that, there will only be a limited number of hard covers printed for the official release. That's it. So yeah, just thank you guys so much for all your continued support. Thank you for tuning in to this video. As always, if you liked it, go ahead, hit that thumbs up. That just helps me out. If you're new here and you're digging it, go ahead, you can hit that subscribe button just to stay up to date on what I'm doing. There's a little notification bell. You can give that a little tap too. It will notify you, and just let you know whenever I post new content over here on the channel, which will hopefully be a little more frequently than it has been here lately. If you're not, you can head over to Instagram. You can give me a follow over there. It's just @ZachParksPhoto. All of these links to all of this shit will be down below for your convenience. Until next time, y'all just stay safe out there, keep shooting, and take it easy. Peace.